All right, Shalom. Before I start, let me give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachach. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all like Akim. Wa'akwath, learning, teaching, and truth and sincerity. Another video through the Spirit. And this one, it came to mind. Here in Detroit, we had went over. We had a class. What was it? This past Sunday. And basically, we were dealing with the fact of who the promise was given to. All right, and the promise of what? And that's the whole point. The promise, the covenant made between the Heavenly Father, and it began with Abraham, then it went to Isaac, and then it went to Jacob. And we're going to go take a look at it in the book of Genesis. So ultimately, that's who salvation is for, and that's who the dominion of not only the land and the kingdom of Israel, but the entire earth is given to the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And although we are down and out as of right now, we will be restored to our former glory, right? And that covenant didn't go to the heathen because we sinned. It didn't go to the Gentiles as in non-Israelites. The Gentiles that are of the covenant are the Israelites who lost their way, right? So what we're going to do is go to Genesis, the 17th chapter. Genesis 17. And, yep, perfect. Okay. Let's deal with, yep. Let's start with, verse 1, and we'll go down some. So Genesis 17:1. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, Yahweh, I'll just read it regular, it says, Yahweh appeared to Abram and said unto him, I think I said Abraham, it's Abram, right before his name was changed. His name will be changed here in a second. It says, I am the Almighty Power, Al-Shaddai, actually. Walk before me and be thou perfect. I will make my covenant between me and thee, and will multiply thee exceedingly. And Abram fell on his face, and Yahweh talked with him, saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Why is Abraham being referred to a father of many nations? Not quite literally. Abraham had several nations descend from his seed line. And more importantly, what great nation was told to come from his seed line? The nation of Israel. And what is Israel not called? I mean, what is Israel called? What's one of the terms, nicknames that Israel was given? Merge over. Let me see. Yep, Hosea 1 and 10. Perfect, actually. Hosea 1 and 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living power. So Israel is known as being the sands of the sea. Right? Many. Okay? Many. Massive number. Verse 5. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham. For a father of many nations have I made thee. And I will make thee exceeding fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. Now, did other kings of other nationalities descend from Abraham? Yes. But what kings does the Heavenly Father focus on? The kings of what nation? Israel. Right? Verse 7. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee, and their generations for an everlasting covenant, to be a God unto thee, and to thy seed after thee. And I will give it unto thee, and to thy seed after thee, the land where thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan for an everlasting possession, and I will be their power. All right. So this was the covenant, that the Israelites would gain that land and gain the dominion everlasting. Now, are we currently in that estate? No, but we will be regaining it soon. Now, does this say that the Edomites would get it? Does this say that everyone would get it? No. It said of a specific seed. Now let's say, right here, oh, well, it says many nations, it says seed. Well, let's zero in on that seed. You link it up with what? Romans 9. All right, verse 3. Romans 9 and 3. And so we start in the Old Testament because that's the basis for everything. That is the foundation and structure of the Bible. And you come to the New Testament to see where it applies. Now, keep in mind, this is Paul writing this to the Romans. Now, was he writing this to white Edomite, Herodian Romans? No. This was being written to the Israelites who, as we saw in Hosea, would be told that they are not the Israelites, and in the land of their captivities come to find out they are the Israelites, and would inevitably return to their nationality and faith. Romans 9 and 3. For I could wish myself for a curse from Hamashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh. It says, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of Yahweh and the promises. So the covenant was given to the Israelites, not to Ishmael, not to Edom, not to Elam, not to any Christian who randomly believes. Israel. Verse 5. Whose are the fathers? And of whom, as concerning the flesh, Hamashiach came, who is over all, Yahweh blessed forever Tuah. So verse 5 tells you specifically of the flesh, because Yahweh Shai himself, the Messiah, was an Israelite, so he came to redeem his kinsmen. Matthew 1 and 21, he will save his people from their sins, beginning with the elect, and the rest of Israel will have to be reborn in the kingdom. Verse 6, not as though the word of Yahweh hath taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel, neither because they are of the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. So what does this verify? That although Abraham is referred to as, the father of many nations, what is the great nation that the covenant went to? Through the line of Isaac, not through Ishmael, not through Midian, not through any of the other sons of Keturah, right? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's who the chosen line goes through, and that's whom the covenant is given to. That's whom salvation is for in the kingdom of heaven. Plain and simple. Let me get another one. And then it goes on to give the rest of the backstory, dealing with Isaac's birth and then dealing with Jacob's birth. This is Genesis, what is that? Damn it. 2. Yep, Genesis 22 and 2. Now right here, I'll just read it. Genesis 22 and 2, and he said, take now thy son, thine only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I tell thee of. And so right here, now, was Isaac the only literal son of Abraham? No. But what does this go to show you? This is the only son that the Heavenly Father acknowledged, further backing up who that chosen seed line is. All right, that's really, and that's an insult to the rest of Abraham's children, really, right? The inheritance didn't go to them. The inheritance went to Isaac. All right, when you go to chapter, what is it? They were all banished, actually. Chapter, let me see. Chapter 25. Yep, the rest of the sons were banished. They weren't allowed to be around Isaac. Let me see. Genesis 25. So this is for all, all you people who believe salvation is universal, the Bible's for universal. No, it's for the Israelites only, the 12 tribes. Genesis 25:1. Then again Abraham took a wife, and her name was Keturah, and she bare him Zimram, and Jokshan, and Medan, and Midian, and Ishbak, and Shua, and Jokshan begot Sheba and Dedan, and the sons of Dedan were Asherim, and Letushim, and Lumim, and the sons of Midian, Ephah, and Epher, and Hanak, and Abidah, and Eldaah. All these were the children of Keturah. And Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac. Ain't that something? But unto the sons of the concubines which Abraham had, Abraham gave gifts and sent them away from Isaac, his son, while he yet lived, eastward unto the east country. So Abraham got the inheritance. Isaac got the inheritance. All the other sons had to get the fuck on, including Ishmael, right? And then, Abraham passed away. His sons buried him, and they all went back and left. That's how serious it is. And it's told to us in the Old Testament, and it is reaffirmed in the New Testament. So what can you logically conclude if you use your brain? That means what? That the people in the New Testament would be Israelites. Salvation and the covenant never skipped nor broke nor left the Israelites because of their sins. Although the Heavenly Father was mad at the Israelites and cast them among the heathen, he did not utterly forsake us and disband the covenant and pass it to the heathen. That is a convenient church lie and a convenient lie for Esau Edom, the so-called white man, so that he can try to fit himself in. But that's just not true. So he don't get to fit in. So we're going to come to Galatians. We're going to go to Galatians 4. Where are we at? Yep. Let me see. Galatians 4:22. For it is written, Abraham had two sons, the one by a bondmaid, which was Hagar, which Ishmael is the son of Hagar, and the other by a free woman, Isaac, the son of Sarah. But he who was of the bondmaid was born after the flesh, but he of the free woman was by the promise. Which things are an allegory, for these are the two covenants, the one from the Mount Sinai, which gendereth to bondage, which is Agar. For this, it says Agar, but this is Hagar. For this Agar is Mount Sinai in Arabia, and answereth to Jerusalem, which now is and is in bondage with her children. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. So, and this right here lets you know that, because when you go back and read in Genesis, it was told that Ishmael, he was going to grow up and become strong, become a great man. The Lord was going to give him his little blessing. But his blessing will be nothing compared to that of the blessing of Isaac and Jacob, which are the forefathers of the Israelites. And so everybody would bow down and acknowledge the chosen seed of Israel eventually, here very soon, at the completion of all the prophecies, because we're the children of the free woman, which is why we have the capability to be spiritual. All right, it was an allegory. And when you look at our people today, these heathen don't care nothing about no spirituality. They're carnal because that's their nature, right? So, hey, just a real quick video establishing who the covenant was for. It's told to us in the Old Testament, and it's reconfirmed in the New Testament, right? So I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kodash, the waters to the elders and apostles, great millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all like Achim Akwath, learning, teaching, and truth and sincerity. Shalom.